right. We are just getting connected here on YouTube. Good morning, you guys. Happy Tuesday. What's up? We're going to get you started here on our upper body workout. Okay. So today is Tuesday. We're going to start off with our upper body strength and finish off today's class with a nice spicy cardio challenge, which we'll talk about when we get there. It is a 10-minute situation, so keep that in the back of your mind because that is coming up. I start you guys off with a warm-up. You do not need any equipment except for an optional band in the warm-up. And then for the workout itself, I have my chair, my 2 8-pound dumbbells, and my mats, all the things. I'm wearing shoes because that last part of the workout today, there is some higher impact stuff. Okay, so let's get you guys started with moving, sticking your arms out, starting with these little circles, drawing in with our hands, keeping our arms straight. We'll go through 10 in one direction, and then we shall stop and do 10 in the other direction. Starting to wake up the shoulders, get the fluid moving in the joints. So once we're done 10 and 10, we'll now make those as big as they can go. You can go in the same direction if you would like, and we'll go through 10 now. Big ones in that direction. And then we will stop and do 10 in the other direction. So take your time with these. You might feel a little like snap, crackle, pop happening in your shoulders. Most likely you're doing this early in the morning or before you've done anything. So we gotta loosen you up here, which is why we're doing this stuff. So we'll go through big circles, 10 and 10. And then I put this here, but we're actually not gonna use it until later on in life, so I'm just going to move it. We're headed down to the floor to do our thread of the needle. So this is one of my favorite ones to help us loosen up our mid-back, upper back. We'll get in this all four position here. Take a hand, reach it under and through. Inhale, and then we'll exhale, open while following that hand with the eyes. So we'll go through 10 of these total, trying to not have any movement happen in our hips. So legs should stay still. We're just trying to get that upper back rotation. Feeling like a little stretch here. And then as we open up, you'll feel a stretch through your lower back. So same idea here, we're not forcing anything. Just work with it at whatever range you have. And we'll go through 10. And then we shall switch and do 10 on the other side. So we'll try to keep it as even as we can. And we'll go through 10 of these. Feels very nice. Loosen you guys up. So once you're done with those 10 and 10, don't go anywhere because the next one is going to stay down here. We're going to work through your upper back muscles, trying to bring your shoulder blades together and then spread them apart. So we're trying to retract the scapula and then spread it apart, going through 10 reps total. Just trying to move through that upper back. So elbows are not bending. This one can be a little bit weird. But we're just hanging out on our knees, so we're sending all of our focus to getting some action happening in our upper back, bringing the shoulders together and pulling them apart. We'll do 10 of those. You guys can stand back up and shake out. So shoulders, roll out your shoulders a couple times because most likely you want to do that. Last couple we're going to do here are all about activation. So this one, the band pull apart. For those of you who do not have bands, what you're going to do is get yourself into that bent over position, the thumbs up, and work with this straight arm, shoulder blades coming together. Same thing that's happening up here as I'm using this band with this weird string attached to it. So we'll go through 10 reps total of these ones, trying to keep our arms straight, shoulders relaxed. If you guys are working with loop bands, you can either loop 2 of your bands together, or you can just grab one and hold it like this and open it up going through your reps. Good morning, Carly. So we'll go through those. And then once you guys are done, we're going back down onto the floor into a second set of the one where we pull our shoulders together and spread them apart. Second set here, we can make this a little bit more involved, involving our core muscles by popping off of our knees and trying to do this in an off-knee position. So we'll get you guys going through 10 reps total of that one. Ooh, it's a little harder like that. So we'll go through 10. Once you finish that one, on the way up, we can give our wrists a few circles. We're starting off with push-ups. You guys probably knew that was coming. It's Tuesday. So we want to make sure that our wrists are as warm as we made our shoulders. So you guys can go through a few big circles in each direction just to move that joint through that range of motion. And then we have one more set of those pull-aparts, and we are going to start our push-ups. So you guys can grab back onto your band, straight arms coming across, seeing if we can get all of this stuff working in our upper back. And we will go through 10 reps total of these ones. Yep. And that is it. We should be warm. Okay. So once you guys are done, you can get yourself ready mentally and physically for some push-ups. So today we're working with 10 reps. Last week we were working with 8 reps. So we're going to try to add 2 reps to what we were doing last week. We talked about things that you can do if you cannot get 8 push-ups yet. I'm talking about push-ups here. I feel like I forgot to say that. So we're headed down to the floor here to go into our first official set of these push-ups, where we'll try our very best to get 10 reps. Full body, proper push-ups. If we cannot get those, maybe we're stuck at a lower number, we're still working on our push-ups. What I want you guys to do is every single set we're going to try. Okay, I want you to come down, exhale, push up, see what you can do, see how many you can get. Maybe you can get all 10. Go for as many as you can. Once you start to feel like you're not able to push up with that nice form, we'll lower, use the knees on the way up, reset onto the toes, and finish off our set so that we get 10 push-ups, preferably all full body, but if we need to finish them off with that lowering situation, that is totally fine. Push-ups. Okay, so once you're done 10, that's your first set. You will have to do that 3 more times. We do have a little something in between each of these sets, and it is standing and it requires no equipment. So we've been working with this similar style exercise in a Superman version. We're going to get ourselves into this nice bent over position. So I hinged my hips back, have my feet in a very narrow stance, and then I'm going to lift my thumbs up into this position here, and then I'll come down into a Y and out into a T, and then back to a Y, and then back over my head. So I'll count every time I lift up as 1, and I'm doing 15 total. So I know it is a little bit of coordination, yes. You can kind of check yourself to make sure that your arms are in that T position and they're not too low here, lower than our shoulders. We want to be like right here, lifting and then up and then straight up above our head. So we're never letting those arms come down below our shoulders. And you count every one of those lifts is 1, and you'll do 15. So don't worry about which one you're counting, just count them all. Once you guys are done, we'll roll out our shoulders, because you probably felt that a lot in your upper back, because that is the goal on that one. If you would like, you can grab a quick sip of water, and we are going to do this. Again, 3 more sets. So when you feel ready, we'll take about 30 seconds here before we head back down onto the floor, especially if you guys found that 10 push-ups was really hard, because you're going to want a little bit of rest right now before you go into your next set. But of course, we'll keep it under a minute so that we can get through this. So when you guys feel ready, let's head down there and do our second set of push and up, 10 reps total. We got to get those 10 reps. Yes. So this is us for our first superset. I'm doing these push-ups and then this 3-way raise for upper back, back of the shoulder muscles. We'll talk about that when we get there. So we're going right from our push-ups into these lifts, and then we'll take a little bit of rest once we're done the lift. So every set will have that nice posture. Thumbs are up in the air, and that is to put our arms into this rotation. So if my thumbs are pointed this way or down or any other way, I'm not going to get that opening position on my shoulder. So I won't be working the same muscles as if I have my thumb forward or thumb down. So that's why I want you thumbs up, because you're feeling so good in this one. So we'll go through 15 reps. Ooh, 2 more rounds of this. Very fun stuff. So take your time in between your sets and grab yourself some water if you would like. We're gonna go through 2 more rounds of these push-ups. Yes. So like I said, you guys, every single set, I want you to try to see how many you can get, okay? So you go into your set. I don't care if you could only get 4 or 2 or 6 on the other one that you did. I want you to try again and see if you can maybe add 1 more. See if you can get closer to 10, and then you know the drill. Finish off in those lowering ones so that you get that work. Oh yeah. Let's see what we can do. 10 push-ups. So for most of us, 10 push-ups, pretty challenging. We do them in a nice controlled manner. If you guys do need to make this harder, you know what to do already. Slowing down, pausing at the bottom. We talked about this last week. There are options for those of us who needed to make these push-ups harder. But if you're going just in a nice controlled manner, you should be pretty challenged by the time you get to 10 reps. And if you want to make it more challenging, you know what to do next set. Just slow it down a little bit and you'll get a nice challenging final set because you got 1 more. All right. Okay, so we're gonna go into those unsuspectingly hard lifts. I know they look very simple. There's no weights in your hands. You know, you're in this bent over position, but if you're doing this correctly, and if you are working through your upper back and actually bringing your shoulder blades together with each of those lifts, you will really feel this in the back of your shoulders here, and then also in between your shoulder blades. But probably don't need to tell most of you that because you're already feeling it. So we'll go through this set of these 15 and we have 1 more round of the push-ups to make it 4. There you go. Yes, nice. So we're working through these ones, 50 of them, taking our sweet time. And then you guys have 1 more round of the push-ups. Let's get it. All right, so grab some water, take some deep breaths, get yourself ready for this final set of push-ups. This is our last set of these, and we are moving on to 2 new exercises. Of course, you guys have to do your last set of this lifting one after these push-ups here, and then we are going to move on. So whenever you're ready, if you have not started already, let's get going on that last set here, because you guys have about 2 minutes to finish up this final part of this first part. Okay. Do our thing here, you guys. Take your time with it. We got about a minute left here before we are going to move on. So once you're done, you're gonna shake it out. Woo, should be feeling all things. Grab some H2O. And there you go. Finish it up, you guys. So as you do come to an end on that one, we are going to be recruiting our bench, our chair, that you guys are going to be using. And of course, if you do not have something like this, I have options for you. Okay. Good job, guys. So we're going to move on to the next superset. We have 2 new exercises that we're going to go through. All very similar. We've been here before. We have our 1-arm rotational row. I'm going to be putting my knee and hand up on this chair and bench or bench to help support my core and my lower back as I go through this 1-arm row. Options. Those of you with TRXs, You can do a TRX single arm row, really challenging exercise. You can work with that rotation, same style here. So if that's something that you want to do, you can set up for that right now. This is a great option because you can also use your bands. So if you're working with bands, you can loop around opposite foot like this. What I'm going to do is use both of my dumbbells to make that nice 16-pounder. Palm faces the hips, palm faces the leg, and then we'll row and rotate so that our palm faces our ribs. So you guys are working through these ones. Again, if you're working with that TRX row, you are pulling it in. First set here, we're going at a normal tempo, so 2 seconds up, 2 seconds down, 10 reps on each side, okay? So you guys can work through these ones. 10 reps. Start it up. Let's do it. If you do not have access to a chair, a bench like this, what you can do is either use your leg for that assistance for your core, or you can turn and face a wall. I should go over into this one here so you guys can see what's going on. And then use that wall, again, just to help give you that support throughout here and allow us to focus more on our actual back muscles. So we're going to pair this with another exercise, you best. One for our triceps. So dips are my first option. I'm up here, I should be down here. Bench dips, you guys can work with these ones off of the chair that you were using to kneel on here. Going through down 90 degrees, pushing ourselves up. We're working with 15 reps total. Straight legs is harder, bent legs is easier. So you can play around with that one. If that one does not work for you, whether you don't have a chair or you don't like it, you want to do something else, any other tricep exercise will suffice. You can do this one up here, wall triceps, or you can lay on your back, grab your dumbbells, and go through your tricep extension or skull crusher, because it's dumbbells are by the skull, and we'll work through 15 reps, okay? So this is you guys. We are not going to be taking any rest in between these two, but we are going to do something a little different for your last 3 sets of rows. So you just did 1 set. Like I said, you guys did it at a normal tempo, kind of found your groove, your rhythm on it. What we're going to do is add a 2-second hold at the top of every single row for your next 3 sets. So you're going to set up in the same way, whether it was TRX, band, dumbbell, kneeling, whatever you're doing. Rotation still happening. We pull in, we hold for 1, 2, and then we'll let it down. So by holding in there, we're having more time with this weight on our back muscles. It's going to make the set a lot harder. And I know that all of us can do this. If for some reason it's too hard, maybe you're working with your TRX and you can't find a nice spot to make that not hard, you can work with just a nice pause at the top. Doesn't necessarily have to be the full 2 seconds, but that is what I want from you guys, okay, for your next 3 sets, this one and then the next 2. Dips, triceps, whatever you were doing there, it's going to stay the same. We have 15 reps total, and we are not taking any prescribed rest within these 2 or within these sets. The only rest that you can, if you want to take, you can take once you're done your triceps, maybe a quick sip of water, but there's not like, you know, a 60-second rest period or even 30 seconds once we're done, because we are working quite different muscles here. We have the triceps going on the back of the arms, on those dips or on the extensions, and then our back muscles on those pulls. So I put these 2 together so that we can do them back to back, no rest in between. So just a little deep breath. All right. So we'll go through these. Again, 15 reps total on the triceps, and then 10 and 10 with the 2-second pause. Yeah. All right. This is like, I finally found a playlist that doesn't just play ads all the time. Yeah. We'll see how it goes for the rest. I mean, I just jinxed it probably. All right. So we're doing 4 sets total. That first one, and then the 3 more with that pause. You guys have 2 more sets. And we're moving right into it. Working palm faces the leg, and then we pull it in 90 degrees at the elbow, shoulder pulls back behind the ear, and we hold for 1, 2, and then we let it out. And that goes for the band. Whatever you guys are using, we want that nice controlled hold at the top, and then let it down. Oh, right in there. You should be feeling all of the things on the side. Big back muscles on the side. Yep. All right, so we'll go into those triceps. Ooh, 15 reps, which is not the highest rep range that we've done for these. We've done 20s before, but it's still pretty up there. So pace yourself. I like the bench dips because you can, well, and up there. These 2 are great because you can make them really easy or really hard with just really small movements. Like I was saying on the bench here, the straighter the legs, the harder, the closer the legs, the easier. For any time you're moving your legs, we want to make sure to keep our hips close to the bench so that we can keep 90 degrees at the elbows. But if I even move my legs out a little bit, it's going to make it so much harder. And then the same rules apply up here. If I was to walk away from the wall and move my hands down, it's going to be way harder than if I walk close to the wall and move my hands up. So especially if you guys don't have any equipment, if you don't have dumbbells or bands, or you do, but you don't find them the hardest in the world, these ones are great because you can make them really dang hard. Let's do it 15. All right, so let's get our last set. Doing it. We have 1 more part to the upper body strength, and then we are moving on to the last part. The little sweat challenge. This is a good one. All right. Good work, you guys. Okay, so we'll take our sweet time with the last part. We actually have this amount of time. We have about 3 minutes, 3 or 4, until we need to start the next part here. So take your sweet time with these ones. Do, 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 do. There we go. Good job, you guys. So, again, as you go through these sets, you're going to be getting a little bit more tired. Remember, just try to keep going through them. But if you feel like you're formed, if you can't quite hold it in the 10 reps, especially if you are working with something, pretty heavy in your hand, whether it's a heavy band or heavy weight, you take a little bit more time here before your final set, which you probably started already. So let's get it. So last set of these 2, 10 reps, hold it, and then 15 for the triceps. Woo! I'm like so torn. It's really hot in here, but it's like really smoky outside. Yeah. Smoke rings. I open the window. All right, so once you guys are done, again, you can grab some water now. Woohoo! We're gonna give you about 1 more minute left. If you are not done, if you are, you can just chill out, grab water. We are, for the next part, not going to need this chair, this bench. So if you guys like, you can just put it aside. Maybe it's just always there, that's okay. We are going to work with a wide grip row. So if you guys do have your TRXs set up, we can keep those. I'm going to be doing a dumbbell option. I'll show you a band option, and then the TRX is a great option for this one. So if you have it, don't set it up, put it up. We're gonna do it up. We are, last part here for the strength, we have 3 exercises that we're going to do in a tricep. So we're going to do them all back to back, and then we will take some rest at the very end because these are all very much so back focused exercises. First one is that wide grip row. which I was just kind of talking about. So TRXs, if you would like, we're doing 10 reps total. I'm going to use my dumbbells. I'm going to start you guys off right now. So you can start your first set. Stand hip width apart, soft knees, the pushing the hips back, palms face the hips, and then we'll pull up and wide, like all the way wide into this 90-degree position, pulling our elbows up a little bit higher than that push-up position. So we're trying to lift the elbows up into the air so that they're not down here, but they're lifted over the wrists. So we're going through 10 reps total. You guys can start right now. If you're working with bands, you can anchor your band, or you can hold your loop band like this and pull it in like so. And TRXs, you're going to be pretty high up. You won't have your feet walked under so much, and then we'll pull wide. Yeah, elbows up. Ooh. Okay, so this is our first of 3. We have 2 more that we're going to do in this tricep. Next one is a pullover. So dumbbells or bands are our options for these ones. We're going to lay on our back. Woo-hoo, all the way down. So I'm going to use both my dumbbells, one in each hand. If you're working with bands or if you don't have dumbbells, you can hold your band sideways like this and work with the band via towel if you have none of the above. And if you have heavy dumbbells, you can always hold one sideways like this instead of the 2 here. If this was any heavier, I'd probably hold one because this is like borderline, a little bit almost too heavy, would be going through this. So we have straight arms here. We start off by laying on our back, bending our knees up, and pulling our shoulders into the floor so that we have some space underneath our lower back. And then we'll drop the hands back and then pull them up and over in line with our shoulders. And you guys are going through 15 total. So we want to feel as we come down, this is getting all that tension, and then we use this to pull ourselves up. We don't have to come down too far. It really depends on your mobility. If you feel comfortable, you can go down a little bit lower, but if it starts to cause any sort of pain, just stop and work with a smaller range. Oh, I don't know where I'm going because you stay down here for the last one. All right, so final one, you guys, is a variation of a Superman. We're gonna lay on our tummies, so you can just put your weights down, bands down, nothing is involved here, just your body. We're gonna fold our feet or position our feet so that our shoelaces are down on the floor. And then I'm going to make this 90-degree position in my elbows here, lift my hands up, and only my upper body, I'll pull my shoulders together or lift my arms up into the air, and then hover them and go through 20 reps total. So I'm trying to hover the arms, never touch the floor, legs stay down, hips stay down, core is tight. You can squeeze your butt if you're prone to low back pain or feeling your low back. And we'll feel all that work happening in our upper back. 20. Oh, yes. Okay. Good job, you guys. This is you. Woo. So we are going to, of course, do this again. You guys are going to go through 3 more sets total of these 3 wonderful exercises. So we're starting back off with the first one. Like I said, we got lots of back stuff going on. All these are focused on the back side of the body, upper back. So we will take a little bit of rest here. Once we're done that one, because it burned a lot, surprisingly, and now we have to go back into those wide grip rows, which kind of go into that same movement. So, you know, right after doing that, going into the rows, they might not be the strongest thing in the world. So we'll just take a moment right now to breathe. If you want to roll out your shoulders, grab some water, you have time. The last cardio part of our workout here, the challenge, takes 10 minutes only. So you guys have lots of time to go through. Well, maybe another 5 for me to explain it to you. But we have lots of time to go through these final 3 sets. So please do not rush your rest because it's only going to lead to not so good form when you go into your sets. Okay, so I feel like I just distracted you for a good amount of time. So if you're ready, let's go into our second set here. starting back off with those wide grip rows. So regardless of what you're using, we have nice posture, going through that nice setup, and then we pull those arms up and wide, trying to keep our palms facing our legs the entire time. And so if you're working with a band or a TRX, same rules apply. We want to try to lift the elbows and keep the palms facing down, so no rotation, not neutral. Yes. Woo. Okay. This mat is a little off center. There we go. Okay, you guys. Ooh. We are going to go into the second one, which are those pullovers. So again, ideally, we want something weighted in our hands, whether it's a dumbbell, weighted household items, something like that. Whatever you're using, whether it's the band or the dumbbell, before we start our set, we want to think about that there is some space between our shoulders and the floor here. We want to remove that space. So we'll pull the shoulders down to the floor. You can see that there. If you don't understand, I pull my shoulders down, and that just makes this arch in my back. I'm not actually like arching my back. I'm just pulling my shoulders down, which puts them in a very safe position to go through this pullover or a press or anything on my back, really, when I'm trying to work my upper body. So that's very important to keep that there the entire set. It's going to feel harder and feel a little bit weird if you're not used to doing it, but overall, it's just going to help you guys stay safe. Because if your shoulders up and float in the air and you're going through this set, it's basically putting a lot of stress on this joint and all this weight on this joint rather than on the muscles in your back. So hopefully that made sense. That is super important, and I really do want you guys to think about that. It's just going to help you prevent getting sore shoulders. So again, once we're done those pullovers, which you're probably way down already, we're going to go into Supermans, and then we'll rest a little bit and do 2 more rounds of this. Yeah. Upper body. This thread keeps making its way back to me. All right. So again, those Supermans, our legs need to stay glued down to the floor, top of the thighs, our feet, our hips, all of it down on the floor. Only thing that's happening is the upper body, arms, shoulder blades moving together. Okay. All right, my friends. So we'll go through our third set when you guys are feeling ready. Yay, we're ready or not. How are we doing for time? We have so much time. You guys have about 6 minutes to finish up this set and your last one. We're going to move on to the last part. And then we are done for the day. Okay, so let's do this. Back to that first one, those wide grip rows. Trying to focus on lifting those elbows up to the ceiling, thinking about the back of the shoulders, that mid-back, doing the work. There you go. Whew. All right. Good work, you guys. So we'll get you going on in your pullovers once you're done those ones. And if you are working with loop bands and you're doing these ones, you can always feel free to make a longer band like this, as it's just going to allow you to hold the band a little bit wider, especially if your integrity of your bands are a little bit sketchy, like they feel like they might snap, or if you're using a really light one, you're holding it really wide like that, it just, they do snap, and no one wants to experience that. So having a wider band like this is going to make that band just a little bit less likely to break for such a wide set. Something that also goes for your pullovers as well. We can hold that band wide like this and pull over like so, rather than having just the one and be so narrow. It also might feel a little bit more comfortable on your guys' shoulders. Okay, it's just sometimes they're kind of annoying. done. So look at that. That was not bad. All right. So we'll go through our final set once we're done this one. Woo-hoo! The Supermans. Those ones too, right? It's always ones that just look so simple, no problemo. But then you do them, especially in this sequence with these other ones, not amount of reps, and it really should be working your upper back. So we have one more round. Do our thing here, and then I think it is time for the last part. Time to get your heart rate up. Whew. All right. So take your rest, you guys. We have time. We have about 4 minutes left before I'm going to start talking about the final part here, which takes us 10 minutes. Okay. So we are resting, breathing. I don't know why that was just very annoying. Okay. Let's get it. So take your rest, you guys. We have our final set here. This is it for the strength. Final set of this tricep, these 3 exercises. Let's get them done, and then we will be done with the strength. One last part. Woo. So let's do it. 10 reps. There you go. Good job, you guys, lifting those elbows up to the ceiling. You got it. 10 total. 15 pullovers, 1 Supermans. And then you can rest. Nice work, you guys. Okay, so transitioning it through these ones, little to no rest, just the time that it takes you to get down to the floor, really, and start your final set of these pullovers. So again, really important, we set the shoulder blades before we start working through that set. You keep them back there the entire time. Let's do it. Last set of them. So once you guys are done, and you have to do 15 reps of those ones. Flip over and finish up with our final set of the Supermans. Woo. Nice work. So make every single one of those reps count. Finish up that set nice and strong on those pullovers. Put those dumbbells down, aside, away, because we're actually done with them. We don't need any equipment for the last part. Yay. But you do have to do your Superman, so don't go too far. So we're going to lay on our tummy. Final set, final one. These guys, going through 20 reps of them. And then, once you're done, you guys can grab some water and get ready for the last part here. And I was not kidding about the dumbbells. We are done with them. So we want to put them aside. Okay. Nice work, you guys. So let's do this. I wonder if will this work? Okay, so as you guys come to an end, we are going to move on to the last part here. Why did my screen rotate? I'm just trying to set. Oh, my phone's actually just having a moment. You know what I mean? iPhone problems. Maybe it's all phone problems. Okay, we're going to deal with that after. So, last part. So in the description of this workout, I call this a spicy cardio challenge because that's exactly what it is. We have 4 exercises that I'm going to give you guys a certain amount of reps that you need to do, and we are going to see how many sets you can get in 10 minutes. So that's what I was kind of fumbling with my timer over here for, because I want to put this timer, so you guys can maybe see it, but we're going to have it running for 10 minutes, counting down, and you are going to complete as many rounds of this as you can. Now, these 4 exercises, we're starting off with 10 reps for the first one, 15 for the second, 20 for the third, and then 25 for the fourth, and then we repeat. Now, your rest really depends on you and how much rest that you are going to need. We're going to do 1 round together just to go through these exercises and just kind of warm you up for them, and then I'm going to start the timer and officially have you guys start. So, first one, let's go through these. Mountain climbers, yeah. So you're doing 10 reps total of these mountain climbers. Now, the thing about these is that they're kind of a 2-in-1. We're counting 2 mountain climbers as 1 rep. So I start here and I go 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm only counting every time my right knee drives in. You can do your left, right, doesn't matter. But don't count both because it's a lot of work on the brain. So let's get down here and let's do 1 set together just to feel this out. If you don't jump, you can just drive your knees instead. But I want you guys to kind of work with a little hop in your step here and count out your first set of 10 total. Now, if you want to ask me, these ones are probably the easiest one out of these 4. I don't know. That's why I had you guys do the full set. These next ones, we're not going to do the full count, but we are going to go through them. Second exercise is a burpee. Now, ideally, yes, I want you guys to do a full-on burpee, chest to the floor, all the way down, all the way up. And if you remember, the count was 15 for these. Now, I don't want you to do that right now, but I do want you to do 5 of them in that style just to get your body used to it, okay? So let's do it. Squat stance, hands down, jump out, chest to the floor, push up, jump in, and up we go. If you're low impact, we step, and step, and step. 5 reps. Do them up. Yay! All right, last 2. We really just going to go through again about 5 reps in each. We have a squat jump where the count is 20 reps. So those of you who don't jump, you're just going to come up onto your toes rather than leaving the floor in that squat jump. Last one is a jumping jack. 25 rep is our count. And those ones, we're just counting every rep. There's no fancy stuff going on there, okay? Whew. Wow, I feel like I'm warm. Hopefully you guys feel warm too. This is you now. We're going to see how many rounds you can get of that in 10 minutes. And I'm going to start this timer in 3, 2, 1, go. Here we go. So starting off with the first one, mountain climbers. Trying to get through these as quickly as possible. Going through 10 reps or 2 equals 1. Let's go. Let's go. I don't know what this music is. I'm sorry. Let me try to find something a little bit more upbeat. Woo! All right. So once you guys are done, we are up and into those burpees where you're completing 15 reps total. So this is potentially going to be the hardest one. So just pace yourself as you go through them. Each of these rounds, all these 4 exercises, if you do them really fast and properly and efficiently, takes about 2 minutes. So in theory, we should get at least 4 sets. If you're really pushing yourself, you might get 5, okay? But all of you, I need at least 3, all right? So let's get through this first one. See if we can get through at least 2 more. Let's go. Come on. There you go. Good work, you guys. Okay, squat jumps. We have a 20 rep count. So we're working through these ones, trying to land as softly as possible. And then the final one is our jumping jack. So with these ones, we'll think about a smaller distance with our feet, but faster jacks. If you're low impact, we are tapping and moving as quickly as possible with the arms and the legs. This is totally not flipping, but you have 8 minutes left, okay? Let's go. So as you can see, you really gotta hustle to get through this. Oh yeah. Good work, you guys, let's do it. So, like I said, your rest is completely up to you. By the time you're finished this, you most likely feel like you need to take a moment. But then in the back of your head, you remember that the whole idea behind this is to see how many rounds you can get. So I want you to try to go right into your next set as quickly as you can, unless you're really feeling unwell. You take a moment to breathe, grab some water. But we'll just try to get through this because this is a 10-minute situation. All I need from you guys. So we'll push ourselves as hard as we can in this amount of time. Woo. All right. So 10, 15, 20, 25 reps. Let's go. Yeah, good job, you guys. Nice work. So we'll breathe through these ones, pace ourselves, but push ourselves. Good work. We are 6.5 minutes left of this fun stuff. Let's get it in here. Ooh, the burpees. Potentially hardest one. Get them in, especially when you get your chest to the floor like that. Woo. Good job, you guys. So we'll go right into these ones back to back. I'm trying not to take any rest in between if we need to take rest. It is at the very end of our set, and when we're done our jumping jacks, between those four, we're getting them done. No rest, just doing them as quickly as best we can. And then if we really need to, the end, you can grab some water. There you go. But you have 5.5 minutes left, so we'll try to get through at least 2 more rounds. 1.5. This one, and 1 more. Let's get it. Good work, you guys. Woo! Okay, so between your sets, again, you are breathing. Just take a quick second. You can stay moving. Grab some water. And then when you're ready, well, ready or not, get right into it. And we'll go through our next set. So we'll work with those ones. Again, if you don't jump, we're just driving the knee. Keep in mind, all my low impact peeps out there, this is going to take you a lot longer, most likely, unless you're really hustling, than those of you who are doing high impact or jumping versions, because the jumping ones, fast ones, they simply are just quicker and you will get them done faster. But of course, if you have an injury or some kind of reason not to be high impact, just to know that you got to push yourself really hard so that you can try to keep up the higher impact people. You might never, that's okay. 4 minutes left, you guys, let's go. Yes, after this workout, but you have to push yourself for this last 3 minutes because you don't want to go about your day, go about the rest of the week knowing that you could have pushed harder right now, but you just didn't because you're tired, whatever. You can work through this. You just have to do it. Push yourself, even if you're not going as fast. 3 minutes left, so let's see if we can get through at least one more set. Keep in mind, this last set is going to be the hardest set. We're the most tired. That's why this is the most important set. So let's do it. Yes. That one more set of burpees. I know, but it's going to be your last set. Woo. Nice job, you guys. 2.5 minutes. Let's get this. There you go. So count them out. I'm trying to go right into this final set here. Challenging yourself, seeing if you can get one more set in this amount of time that we have left. Woo! Which is officially 2 minutes. So let's get it. Final set. Good job, you guys. Take those breaths. Okay, so as you're going through this last set here, I want you guys to think about how many rounds you've done. Remember, because I actually want to know, because I am curious to know how many you got. So keep it in the back of your head, and I'm going to put a post up in our Facebook group. You guys can post your how many rounds you got in there so that we can all talk about how awesome we are. 1.5 minutes left, though, you guys, so let's see if we can even it out. We get another half round in, because yes, half and quarters do count. Woo! There you go. You can do this. So move your body a little bit faster. There it is. Just over 60 seconds left. Last chance here. Good work, you guys. 1 minute. That is all we have. Woo! To do this. There we go. All right, it is getting serious here, y'all. We have 30 seconds left. So let's give it all we got here on this last 30-second period. Woo! All of it. Right now, you guys do not stop. Do not give up for 20 more seconds. We need all of the work. Let's get it. 10 more seconds. Last chance. Finish up this one. 3, 2, 1, and time. Nice work, you guys. Yay! Okay. Whoo! So please, we're going to take a couple minutes right now to breathe, which you're already doing, but I want you to walk around and intentionally breathe to help cool your body down, calm your body down. So nice deep breaths in through the nose, out through the mouth. We're going to help you let your heart rate come down and overall just chill your body out, because it is not chill at all. After doing that, you guys probably felt that a lot. 10 minutes there it is no joke. You are done it now, and hopefully you feel good about your result and how many rounds you got. Like I said, please remember how many rounds you got. We're going to hop in our Facebook group once we're done, once we've signed off here, and you can pop your number down in the comments so we can all see and have something to base ourselves off of. When you guys are feeling a little bit better, once your heart rate comes down a bit, breathe in. We're going to start stretching. I'm going to give you guys 2 stretches that you can go through. First one's for your lower body, the calves, back, legs, hamstrings. It is this one here. I like to start with this one, especially when we're still feeling kind of hot and heavy, because it's standing. You can kind of still do those calming breaths up here without having to go down to the floor first. So if you're still feeling like really worked, then you can take a couple more minutes here to just cool down. Come join us here after. But we'll hold each side for at least 30 seconds, about a minute, to stretch out the calves, especially if you guys did join me, can't talk, on the high impact stuff, the jumping stuff. We'll stretch those guys out. And you can switch sides, do both sides. And then the next standing one for your chest, your shoulders, you probably definitely saw this coming, because when do we not do this? Because it's a very important stretch to do, especially after we just did all that forward pushing stuff. Lots of planking, the burpees, mountain climbers, the push-ups, all of that. So we want to even that out with getting a nice opening on the front side here. So this is important that you guys do this. Hold each side for about 60 seconds, at least 30, so that you get a little something out of it. But upward of 60 is going to be better. If you're short on time, you can also go in your door frame. Last one, I know I said 2, but you know, extra one for your lower back, because we did a lot of back work. You might feel a little bit tight back here, residual from yesterday. So we'll get into this position here, and you guys can spend some time down here stretching out your back. Okay, so I'm gonna leave you guys. You are done with me. I want you guys to go through some of those stretches, some rounds of those stretches. Feel free to do a couple sets of those. And good job. Thank you so much for Tanis, who just hopped out, and Carly, yay, for joining me live. You guys rock. I will see you tomorrow if you're here or later on this week live. And of course, if you're watching the replay, please drop a comment so that I know you were here. Have a great day, you guys, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.